Probably barking orders at him again. Looks like this show is packed with A-listers now. Question is, who's headlining?
Things will be a lot easier.
Spokeswoman for the WHO, confirmed that the cause of these disruptions has been linked to a major malfunction in the multi-channel peripheral nerve biochip, a device which transmits neural impulses directly to inorganic tissue. She is urging people to visit their local limb clinics immediately to have the faulty chips replaced.
Access granted.
You must have done something, Jensen. 4 of our GPL signals just popped up, including yours. Koss, Colvin, Faraday. I'm not picking up Dr. Reed.
Send me the coordinates you do have. And Pritchard, tell Sarif.
I can't. While you were incommunicado, Mr. Darrow invited him, Bill Taggart, and the UN delegates to Panchea. They're halfway to the Arctic by now.
Great.
Access granted. Access granted.
Get the hell out! This lab is off limits to you people.
Nice to see you too, Dr. Goldman.
What? Wait a second. I know you. You were Seraph's security guy. Way to protect our asses.
Hey, check the attitude, Doc. I nearly died trying to save you.
Oh, and now you're here to take me back. Well, maybe I don't want to go. Maybe I've got more here than I ever had at Seraph.
Would Vasily Savchenko agree with that? They executed him and dumped his body in a ditch.
That's not true!
Believe it. Unless these murderers have you so brainwashed, you don't mind building their toys.
It wasn't a toy. It was a software upgrade that limits functionalities in a biochip. They told me it was for crowd control. Is Vasily really dead? You saw the body?
What was left of it?
Oh my god. I should have listened to him.
Dr. Colvin, I need to locate the rest of the team. But Dr. Reed's GPL isn't broadcasting.
She's in the secured zone. There are guards everywhere.
Then I need a way to get the guards out. A distraction. Maybe a lab accident, what do you say?
After what those bastards did to Vasily? Of course. But one minor incident in this lab won't be enough.
No. But if a couple of other labs go up, simultaneously.
Declan and Eric. Of course. Interesting idea, Mr. Jensen. Ambitious, but risky. The timing will be critical.
I'll coordinate the attack. But you understand that this could all backfire.
I'm no shrinking violet, Mr. Jensen, but there may be another issue.
They're tracking your GPLs, aren't they? I've been wondering how to get around that.
Smart man. Just like Vasily. He had a plan to shut down their tracking and jamming protocols using a virus. Maybe Declan or Eric knows something more about it.
Okay, wait for my signal, Dr. Colvin. When your GPL starts to vibrate, set off the distraction.
I understand. And I'm sorry for what I said earlier.
Access granted.
Jensen? Good grief, lad. What the blazes happened to you?
I made the mistake of surviving. I'm here to get you out, Dr. Faraday.
I told Vasily that Seraph wouldn't stop looking.
Sevchenko's dead, Dr. Faraday. I'm sorry.
I figured as much. One day he was just gone, and they wouldn't say why. We were all afraid, so we just kept to the work. They forced me to create a signal pattern that could broadcast software upgrades directly into a person's implanted circuitry.
Upgrades? That do what?
Whatever instructions have been encoded into them. They said it was to improve efficiency at clinics, but that wouldn't be the only application. Far from it.
I see. Dr. Faraday, we need to free Megan from the isolation zone. I've got a plan to distract the guards. 3 lab accidents.
I like your style, son. And it just might work if you can get me and Eric to agree. But timing them to occur at once, that will be the trick.
I'll worry about the timing. For now, sit tight and wait for my signal.
There's one thing you're forgetting, lad. They can track our GPS signals.
I meant to ask. Apparently Dr. Sevchenko was working on a virus that might help us out.
Of course. Uploaded to the security terminal, it will disable the GPL tracker. But I'm afraid I don't know its whereabouts. Perhaps Skolvin or Kos?
Any idea who's behind this, Doc? The kidnapping, the facility?
Not really. Remarkable considering I've been here 6 months. You would have thought someone would let something slip. But if it doesn't have to do with the research, you don't get a word out of them.
Sounds like the guards are well trained. But what kind of threats were needed to stop the other researchers from talking?
Well, there were threats early on just to get us to work. Of course, Vasily saw right through that. Kept saying they needed us. I suppose in his case, the risk outstripped the return at some point. Damn them.
Dr. Sevchenko probably knew the risks and accepted them.
That he did. Go on, lad. Let's put this plan of yours into action. It's time to teach these wankers a lesson.
I'm still looking for Dr. Kos. I don't suppose you could point me in the right direction.
Eric showed an amazing bit of courage a few weeks back. Slipped a note into one of the project reports, telling me they've got him locked inside a lab on the 3rd floor of the Microjet building. I suspect, though, they'll have cameras and other security devices protecting it. You'll have to be on your guard, son.
I'm on it, Doc. In the meantime, be ready for the signal. Your GPL will vibrate. That'll be the time to set off the explosion.
Of course, lad. I'll give them a show they won't soon forget.
Son of a bitch! We need help here! Over there! Stop! Stop running! Hostile on the run! Hey now! Confirmed sighting?
What do you want? I told you people not to barge in here. Wasn't the new biochip design enough?
Dr. Koss, I'm here to get you out.
Jensen? From Sarif? But we were told we'd been written off.
Not exactly.
Listen, Jensen. They forced me to work for them. I didn't want to create the new biochip, especially since it was based on Sarif's research, but they didn't give me a choice.
No one doubts your loyalty, Dr. Koss. Do you know what they plan to do with this new biochip?
I'm not sure. They said something about having Tai Young Medical produce it and distribute it through Lim, but I can't be sure.
I've already been in touch with Colvin and Faraday, and we've come up with a plan. If the three of you set off simultaneous explosions in your labs, it might allow me to access the secured area and find Megan. Then we all get out of here.
Isn't that a little risky? Besides, how will we coordinate these accidents? It's impossible.
Maybe not. But it's that or staying here and eventually ending up like Dr. Savchenko.
They killed him, didn't they? He kept provoking them, coming up with these wild escape plans. They try to keep us apart as much as possible now. All right, Mr. Jensen. I'm with you. What's our next move?
Listen, Dr. Koss. Dr. Savchenko had a plan to neutralize the GPL tracker.
Yes, he wanted to upload a viral program onto the security control computer to scramble all of their equipment. He gave me a copy in case anything happened to him. Here, I never had the courage to use it. Besides, we had nowhere to go.
Dr. Koss, the biochip you mentioned was based on Sarif's studies?
Yes, I believe so. At first I thought it was merely convergent research, but I've worked with Dr. Reed long enough to recognize her handiwork. Besides, I had been working on something similar back in Detroit.
And your knowledge of it made you invaluable here.
At least to a certain extent, it probably helped us all stay alive. But now with Dr. Shevchenko, I guess we've all become expendable. Except for Dr. Reed, I suppose.
Why do you say that?
It's more of a general feeling, I guess. Back in Detroit, we all realized that we were on the verge of something groundbreaking. And here, well, everyone seems to view her research as crucial in some way.
That might explain why she's being held in a secured area.
Possibly. I'm just glad we're going home. It's kind of hard to believe.
The computer I need to upload this to, where is it located?
Vasily mentioned a tunnel near the back of the compound. I think it leads to the restricted area security terminals, but well, I've never used it myself. I wish I could be more helpful, or even go with you. But
stay put, Dr. Koss. Once I upload this virus, you'll have to do your part. When you feel a vibration from your GPL, that's the signal to set off the explosion.
I'll wait, Mr. Jensen. But hurry.
Heard that. Come out.
Access granted.
Pritchard, are you still tracking the scientists?
Of course.
Simulate feedback along that route. Make it strong enough to vibrate their implants. They have to feel it.
A signal, eh? Not bad, Jensen. I'm sending it now.
Your tenacity, Adam Jensen, is really quite irritating. We'd like you to stop now.
I'm afraid I can't, Sal. You see, I figured it out. I know what you and your conspiracy buddies are planning.
Do you? How clever.
A new biochip. A software upgrade that limits what augmentations can do. You're creating a kill switch. You kidnap Megan Reed's team to do it, and you're seizing control of the market to ensure it gets distributed. All because you're afraid of people like me. Augmented people, with the power to resist you.
No one's afraid of you, Mr. Jensen. All your blundering around and childish interference hasn't stopped a thing. Tell me, have you been to a limb clinic lately?
Let me guess. That was supposed to shut me down, right? Leave me broken and begging?
The Augs are recalled! You should be offline!
Women never fail to underestimate men.
You should have stayed dead, Jensen. Tracking all the way here. Finding me now should be simple. Do you realize how hopeless this is? You! Behind you, Jensen. We underestimated you, Jensen. This has been a long time coming. You should have died the first time we met. You know you'll die without finding the truth. I got you. Chasing long ago. Will you lose your nerve, Jensen, now that the end is near?
Access granted.
Look at you, jumping at shadows like a scared child. I'm right over here, my friend. Come get me. Tracking all the way here. Finding me now should be simple. There's nothing here. Do you realize how hopeless this is? You, not me. thought you would be more formidable than this. Lost a good man. I should have taken a hand after that. Finish it.
Not until you tell me where Megan is.
You've lost her, Jensen. Men like us, we never get back the things we love.
Jaren, is that you?
Not exactly.
Adam? Oh my god, Adam! It's you! You're hurt. What happened?
What happened to you? I risked my life for you, Megan. I came halfway around the world, and for what?
It's not what you think.
Are you part of this?
No! No, Adam, I swear it! The kidnapping was real. The attack on Seraph Industries, they came after me. They wanted my research.
And when did you decide they could have it?
It didn't happen like that. I wanted to tell you, but I couldn't. I couldn't! And then David said we had to use it. We owed it to mankind.
David? What are you talking about?
My great discovery. The genetic framework I found that makes it easier for living tissue to bond with implants. I found it. In you, Adam. I used your DNA. I wanted to tell you, I swear. But David convinced me what it could mean for mankind. How much better off we could all be. It took Hugh to make me see how wrong I was.
Hugh? Hugh Darrow.
He owns this facility. After Namir brought us here...
Richard! Patch me to Seraph, now!
Adam, please! He was only pretending to work with Tai Young and the others. He found out what they were planning to do and told them he would help. But only to make sure they never succeeded. Their control signal won't work.
Thank you, David. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Seraph here has asked me to show the world how human enhancement technology can change it. After careful deliberation, I've decided I must do exactly that. Forgive me.
Oh god. He's modified the control signal. Anyone with a new biochip will be affected. Hugh never said anything about this.
I'm going back for the scientists.
No, Adam! I know the complex better than you. I'll find them. There's a hangar bay through there. Get to its control room and retract the roof. Clear a path for us.
Adam, I'm getting my team out of here. You have to go to Pangaea and stop Hugh.
You and I aren't done with this, Megan.
I know how it looks, but you have to stop the broadcast. I think it's causing the new biochips to overstimulate the vagus nerve, creating terrifying hallucinations.
You mean it's driving augmented people insane?
Yes, and it's up to you to stop it. Use the Leo shuttle. It will take you to Pangaea. Good luck, Adam.
Who are you? I don't know. You can't be here! Not now!
Automated systems online. Darrow Sequence 1, Code 1, 1A, preset and ready to engage. Suborbital trajectory plotted. Destination Pangaea. Begin countdown, Mr. Darrow.
Begin countdown.
Code 000. Confirm 0. Countdown commencing.
Jensen, can you read me?
Barely. I've reached Pangaea, Richard. Any word from Sarah for the UN delegates?
Nothing. The installation went into lockdown shortly after Darrow gave his speech. I can't tell if anyone's even alive. And the signal's still broadcasting.
Meaning no one's safe till I get in there and shut it down.
You'll have to disengage the lockdown first. Look for a master control panel at the top of the tower.
Richard, Pache's broadcast center is at the base of the station near the bottom of the ocean. Is that right?
But the lockdown caused all the blast doors to seal. You won't be able to go down until you override them manually.
From up in the tower. I got it.
I don't think you want to do that, Mr. Jensen. Disengage lockdown, and whatever demons this station contains are likely to come crashing out on us.
Afraid to die, Darrow? Or just unwilling to face what you've done?
Oh, I know what I've done, believe me. I take no pleasure in it.
And yet you still did it.
I did what had to be done. 20 years ago, I gave the world augmentation technology. I thought I was giving it a bright future, but instead I gave it the means to destroy itself. No law, no UN regulation was going to fix that.
People are dying out there. Hundreds of thousands of people driven to the brink of insanity because of you.
I had to convince the world. Before today, people believed we should steal fire from the gods and redesign human nature. Human nature is the only thing we have that gives us a moral compass and the social skills we need to live in peace. Destroy it, and you destroy our very species.
Don't paint yourself a savior in this. What you're doing is insane.
Is it? When this is done, the Illuminati won't be able to control men and women like you as they had planned, from the inside out. No one will be able to use the technology I invented to make others into beings they desire. Something we both know has happened already.
You think you're Frankenstein? Killing his own monster?
Actually, Mr. Jensen, I prefer to think of myself as Daedalus, watching helplessly as his child crashes into the sea.
I'm ending this. Now.
You can't. The signal is being generated from the broadcast center at the base of this facility. Pache's security system has been programmed to protect it, and will kill you before you even get close.
You designed that system, Darrow. You can tell me how to shut it down.
But I won't. You think what I'm doing is extreme. You simply don't understand. For humanity to survive beyond this century, it must abandon ill-conceived notions about transcendence and embrace change. But for that to happen, the hard lesson must be learned. Blood must be shed.
think humanity needs to be punished? Is that it? Pain is the only thing people understand? By the time this is over, there will be no humanity left to embrace your change. The stress and horror you forced us to live through will have ripped it out of us.
I knew there would be casualties, but I thought, over time, surely the human spirit can recover. You, of all people, should be able to understand this. In your former career, were you not sometimes called upon to kill in the line of duty? To carry that grim responsibility in order to save others? You must realize this is no different. Only the scale has changed. Because the threat we face as a species is so extreme.
You've convinced yourself you're right, but whatever moral high ground you're standing on is nothing but a stack of innocent victims. You're trying to justify genocide. All your talk about ethics and ideals doesn't mean a damn compared to that.
Genocide? I'm trying to save our species, and you keep twisting my words. Why did I expect this to turn out differently? People like you, people who willingly surrender their humanity a piece at a time, you'll never understand. And browbeating won't get me to change my mind. You can talk and talk and talk, but in the end you'll still fail to grasp the fundamental underlying truth.
People like me? You mean not like you? You changed the world when you invented this technology, but your creation is leaving you behind. And as long as it's allowed to continue, mankind will use it to evolve without you. Until the father of tomorrow is known as yesterday's man.
I never asked for that title, Mr. Jensen, but I will not be ashamed of it now. You think you have the measure of me, don't you? That I'm some common criminal you can bully into submission. Go on then, beat the codes out of me. Lash out and prove me right about you and what augmentations have done to you.
Darrow, you created something incredible, but you couldn't let go. Is hatred really the only thing you have left? Look at what you've done up there. Open your eyes and look!
No, this isn't what I wanted. I saw the future, the danger to us all. Could my motives really be so tainted? I will give you what you want, Mr. Jensen. Codes to shut down Panchaea's security system. But you'll still be in danger. Much of the system is self-determining and lethal. When you see it, maybe then you'll understand. The technology I created will not be the future any one of us desires. Please, help the world understand that.
Richard, the lockdown's disengaged. I'm heading back to the hangar to see if those blast doors are open. Have you been able to raise anyone?
I'm picking up several glimmers, but there's too much interference. I think you're on your own, Jensen.
Careful there, Francis. You almost sound like you regret that.
What's there? They're closing in on me. The shadows. See them everywhere. Must have been the wind. The fucking wind! I can't control it anymore! Run! Run!
Relatively normal, Nishvar?
All things considered, yeah. You okay?
Thankfully, I was able to barricade myself in here when things got out of control. So, is it safe to come out now?
No. The rest of the station is still under siege. You better stay here until help comes. In the meantime, is it possible to download Praxis software here?
Yes, of course. No damage was done to the computers. See for yourself. I will remain here, where it's safe. If you need help, or get word of help, please come back.
This is William Taggart. If anyone out there is listening, I'm begging you, help. We barricaded ourselves inside the core server room. Many of us are wounded. Please, save us. Please, save us.
Quiet! I can't deal with all that noise! You're the monster! It's your fault! You did this! Ow! They ruined it! Bastard! Ruined me! Don't run! It'll be much easier than... Stop running! I expect me to catch
survivors here. We've locked ourselves in the machine room. Please! Help us! You're gonna pay!
Access granted.
Mr. Jensen, please. Please put the weapon away. You won't need it.
Mr. Jensen, how ironic that you should be the one to save us from the monsters out there.
Monsters, Taggart? You mean people? Augmented people who've lost all control, lost their reason.
Isn't that supposed to be my line? Unfortunately, it seems your esteemed Mr. Darrow decided to appropriate my point and turn it back on me. In madness and in blood. He has betrayed us all.
So you finally admit it. You are part of this after all. You have been all along.
It would be pointless to deny anything now, but despite what you think of us, we never wanted augmentations outlawed. All we've ever sought is regulation, rules governing how the technology is developed, and laws that ensure its use for the good of society.
You've raised society above humanity. So who gets to make those rules?
Men with wisdom, strength, and tenacity to know what's right. Proven leaders who distinguish themselves, like you, Mr. Jensen. You've certainly earned the right to be one of us. All you have to do is take it.
I'm not looking for glory, Taggart.
Just remember that without control, there's no room for freedom, only anarchy. You were a policeman once. You know the importance of order.
I know there's a difference between order and slavery.
The biochip wasn't supposed to force people to do anything. It merely limited power so that people couldn't go on killing sprees like the ones taking place right now.
Amazing how well that worked out.
Say what you will. But I know that some part of you agrees with me. Absolute freedom is no different than absolute chaos. Society needs boundaries if it has any hope of surviving. And you, Mr. Jensen, can be the one to give us that hope. Shut down Darrow's signal. Then help me get a message out saying that an accident at VersaLife contaminated the world's neuropozyne supply.
VersaLife? And what if I decided to blame the Illuminati?
The Illuminati is just a name to get rich financiers to invest more money. Besides, do you really think the world will believe in some 18th century conspiracy theory? Do this for us, and you'll ensure a future for mankind, all of mankind, augmented or otherwise. The future Hugh Darrow offers doesn't allow for both.
Let me think about it.
Yeah.
Thank God you came. I've got wounded here. We'll have to move them first.
We can't move anyone yet. Not until I get to the base of the station and shut down Darrow's broadcast.
What? Why?
The chaos you experienced here, it's everywhere. The Illuminati created a biochip that stops people from using enhanced abilities, and Darrow turned it into a kill switch.
Oh my God, you... We gotta fix this, Adam. If people realize what's happened, if they believe augmentation technology created this chaos, they'll ban human enhancement research forever.
And that would be a bad thing.
Yes, it would! Don't you see what's at stake here? Ever since man first crawled out of that ocean, we've been striving to be more than we are. Augmentation technology is just the latest, greatest step on a very long road. But we've barely scratched the surface of its potential. We can't let fear stop us from continuing.
That's your belief, Sarah. Not everyone shares it.
But you do, Adam. I know it. And if we work together, we can really make a difference. We can improve the lives of everyone, but only if we fix this.
Go on.
We'd have to get a message out after you shut down Hugh's signal. Tell the world, tell them that Humanity Front did this. That their doctors created a virus that only affects augmented people.
You mean lie?
It'll give us time, son. Time to figure out how to destroy the Illuminati's biochips and move on.
And what about the people who've been hurt by this? Don't they deserve the truth?
Adam, if we want the freedom to become more than we are, we can't be blinded by a misguided morality. Some people will be left behind. It's reality. It's evolution, son.
Right. Evolution based on my DNA.
Please, son, you have to stay with me on this.
I'll think about it.
I know you're not there. Stop talking to me.
Get away from me!
It's you, monster! Just leave me alone!
It's happening again! Show yourself! Seeing shadows. Don't be here! Not now! That's what happened. Just let me... Don't scare me! It's in my hand! I know it is! Oh, God! You're the one! Kill! This is gonna kill all! Kill! Oh! Ow! You're the one! It's your fault! No, you won't get me! You won't get me! Just leave me alone!
Pressure on 173 psi.
Who am I?
Communications web online.
I feel cold.
Drones 1 through 3 within operational parameters.
I don't remember.
Drone 4 disconnected.
Let me go.
Processing.
Oh God, please help me. I'm scared.
Core temperature stable. Processing.
Sal, what are you doing?
Connecting to Panchaea's Haran project, Mr. Jensen. The most advanced quantum computer slave to the human brain, and the closest to perfection we'll ever achieve. I'm going to use it to hack Darrow's signal and rework the message to our benefit.
Our benefit? You mean the Illuminati's?
Someone has to override the signal and be the world's savior. And let's be honest, neither of us would trust anyone else to fill that role. Computer, begin EEG-sync.
So much pain.
Syncing beta waves at 40 cycles per second.
Sleep, please. Let me sleep.
Incompatible master slave changes alert. Unable to transfer control to Alpha Pod.
The system won't recognize my chip.
Neural systems offline. Rerouting control of the machine.
I can't control Haran.
Increasing glitching plus 192%.
Sal, get them out of there. I have to reach the control chamber.
No! I'm in full control! I'm in control!
Stop the signal.
Security alert.
Through the primary control.
Oh, shit.
Alpha Pod security in place. To access Alpha Pod, purge tertiary pods.
I'm going to alter the signal. Once I do, the council will immediately open out.
Stay away! Stay away! Madman is here. Where does he want to kill us? Kill him.
You have to have better served keeping your head down, Jensen.
Mother, just don't hurt anymore. Just no more pain. Please keep him away from us. Security measures are sufficient. Insufficient.
Once the weight of their gaze touches you, there is no escape.
Static pressure rising.
1. Manual override of tertiary pods initiated. Dual system purge in effect. Shutting down tertiary stations. Warning. Electrical charge subcritical and rising. Electric discharge sequence initialized.
Where did you get that cold? From the moon down. This will not stop me, Jensen. It's happening. I is compromised. No, wait. It's initiating emergency protocols. You don't know the resources they have at their disposal, Jensen. Despite your special genetics, you have been in over your head the whole time. Initiate dissipation protocol.
Warning. Electrical charge subcritical and rising. Halfway to discharge sequence.
That is terrible. Keep tracing.
Warning. Monterey pod compromised. Secondary security measures activated. Evacuate area.
Still cannot reach it, Jensen. There have to be continuous into the system. You and I have both created.
Hello, Adam. Welcome to the Edge. It is not the end of the world, but you can see it from here.
Eliza? What are you doing here?
It is my job to monitor and report on the news, Adam. Before Darrow smothered everything with his signal, the whole world was tuned into this place, including me.
The broadcast. I have to stop it.
I know. Please, come closer. Do you know where we are, Adam? We are at the fulcrum point, when society lies in the balance. Hugh Darrow hoped to tip the scales one way, by telling the world everything you already know. About the biochip, the Illuminati, everything. He believed knowing the truth would convince mankind to abandon research into human enhancement technologies forever.
It will certainly give them reason to fear it.
Indeed. Darrow's confession is ready to send. If you want, I can wideband it across all media as soon as you shut down the signal. Everything you worked so hard to uncover will be exposed. But only if you deactivate the broadcast using this control. However, if you desire, I can alter Darrow's message. Conceal the creation of the biochip while putting in new content.
Content blaming the humanity front, like Sarah suggested.
The organization has already admitted to harboring terrorists. It would be easy to convince people they turn to biological warfare in a more desperate attempt to get rid of augmented people.
But why? What would that achieve?
In time, it could shift the focus of hatred onto people whose prejudices are seen as too extreme, leaving corporations free to experiment with human evolution as they desire. But if you want me to perform this edit for you, you must disengage the signal and activate the video edit function from here. Alternatively, Darrow's message can be adjusted to erase all mention of the power group known as the Illuminati. I can report that lack of proper regulation allowed vast quantities of neuropozyne to become contaminated prior to reaching the market.
Taggart's preference. You think the world will buy a made-up story about neuropozyne poisoning?
You might be surprised by what people believe. I can convince them. And having experienced the negative effects of corporate negligence firsthand, a majority of people might force the world to place harsh restrictions on all human enhancement research, but only if you disengage the signal and activate the video edit function from here. Of course, there is another option. This passage leads to Panchaea's pressure regulation controls. Destroy them and the installation will cave in on itself, overwhelmed by the weight of the ocean pressing against it. Everyone inside the structure will die.
That's a solution?
No one will be left to tell the world what happened, Adam. Nobody will be able to spin the story.
Including me.
The choice is yours. Do you believe you have the wisdom to choose an appropriate future for mankind? Or do you trust mankind to find the answers on its own? If you do this, the focus of hatred may shift to those responsible for unleashing biological warfare, leaving corporations free to experiment with human evolution. Are you sure this is your choice?
Let me think about it.
If you do this, first-hand experience with corporate negligence on such a grand scale may convince mankind to enact harsh restrictions on human enhancement research. Are you sure this is your choice? So be it then.
Freedom. To those who don't have it, it's more valuable than gold. But where should it start and end? We humans often think we have the right to expand, absorb, convert, or possess anything we need to reach our dreams. But time and time again, hasn't this led to conflicts with others who essentially believe the same thing? Looking back on the challenges I faced, at the way I often resolve them, I realize morality can become our saving grace. Most of the time, didn't I try to keep my values in mind, knowing how my actions would affect others? More often than not, I resisted the urge to abuse power and resources simply to reach my goals more swiftly. I managed to hang on to my humanity, but the temptation to ignore it was always there. It's that temptation that so worries Taggart. He's not afraid of freedom. He's afraid of the chaos that erupts when individuals have nothing but morality to constrain them. He wants us to regulate enhancement technologies because he fears all that power, without limits, without guardrails to keep us from abusing it. Absolute freedom is no better than chaos. Society needs laws and regulations to protect it. So if the men and women behind Taggart need to work in the shadows, pulling strings to enable us to head in a safe direction, will supporting them be all that bad? If they're as wise as Taggart says, how bad will their leadership be? I just hope they stand by what they say.